Most people will never figure out why they always feel broke. They earn decent money, they work hard, they do everything society told them to do, and yet at the end of every single month, the bank account looks exactly the same. Sometimes worse. And the terrifying part? The answer has been hiding in plain sight the entire time. It is not your income, it is not the economy, it is not bad luck, it is the stuff. The relentless, never-ending, soul-draining accumulation of stuff that is quietly bleeding your financial future dry. One impulse purchase at a time. Today, I am going to walk you through the financially minimalist rules that will completely transform how you think about money, spending, and building a life that actually feels secure. These are not complicated strategies for Wall Street insiders. These are simple, powerful principles that anyone can apply starting today. Stick around because by the end of this video, you are going to see your wallet, your life, and your future in a completely different way. And before we dive in, if this kind of content speaks to you, hit that subscribe button right now. Every single week, we break down real, practical financial strategies that actually work in the real world. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is the one purchase you regret most this year? I read every single comment, and I would genuinely love to hear from you. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message today, share this video with them because it might just change their financial life. Let us start with a hard truth that most financial gurus are too afraid to say out loud. The average consumer is being played. Every single day you wake up, you are being targeted by an army of marketing experts, behavioral psychologists, and data scientists whose entire job is to separate you from your money. They study your habits, they track your clicks, they analyze what makes you feel good and what makes you feel anxious, and then they engineer products, packaging, and pricing strategies designed to make you spend before you even have a chance to think. And it is working. Household debt is at record levels. Personal savings rates have plummeted, and yet somehow people keep buying. New phones every 2 years, subscription boxes they forgot they signed up for, clothing they wear once, gadgets they use for a week, furniture to fill rooms that do not need furnishing. This is not living. This is consuming. And there is a massive difference. The first financially minimalist rule is this: know exactly where every single dollar is going before you spend it. Not after. Before. Most people operate on a feeling. They think they have enough money for something, so they buy it. They do not track. They do not plan. They just react. And reactions are exactly what marketers are counting on. When you sit down, even for just 20 minutes at the start of each month, and you assign every dollar a purpose before it leaves your account, something remarkable happens. You start to see the leaks, that streaming service you forgot about, that gym membership you have not used in 4 months, that app subscription quietly pulling $7 a month from your account for a year and a half. When you see it all written out, it is almost embarrassing. But more importantly, it is empowering, because now you can fix it. The second rule is one that will feel uncomfortable but is absolutely essential. Stop buying things to feel something. This is the psychological root of overconsumption, and it is more powerful than most people realize. There is a reason that retail therapy is a phrase that exists in our culture. Shopping triggers a dopamine response in the brain. The anticipation of getting something new, the moment of purchase, the unboxing experience, all of it creates a brief emotional high. But here's what nobody tells you. That high is temporary, and the financial consequences are permanent. When you buy something to feel better about a bad day, to feel more important, to feel like you are keeping up with the people around you, you are essentially paying a premium for a feeling that will be gone in 48 hours. The minimalist understands this trap and refuses to fall into it. Before any purchase, the question is not, can I afford this? The question is, why do I actually want this? And the honest answer changes everything. Rule number 3, delay non-essential purchases by at least 72 hours. This single habit will save you more money than almost any other strategy. Here is why. Most purchases made in the moment feel urgent. You see something, your brain lights up, and suddenly you feel like you need it right now. But that urgency is manufactured. It is an illusion created by limited time offers, countdown timers, and the fear of missing out. When you create a mandatory waiting period before buying anything that is not a genuine necessity, You allow the emotional excitement to fade and replace it with rational thinking. 90% of the time, after 72 hours, you either completely forget about it or you realize you did not actually want it that badly. The 10% of purchases that survive that waiting period are usually the ones actually worth making. Let us talk about what financial minimalism is not, because I think there is a real misunderstanding out there. It is not about being cheap. It is not about depriving yourself. It is not about living in an empty apartment, eating rice and beans, and feeling miserable about your choices. Financial minimalism is about intentionality. It is about consciously choosing where your resources go, rather than letting your money be pulled in every direction by external forces. A minimalist can spend money on experiences, on quality items, on things that genuinely add value to their life. The key difference is that every single spending decision is made on purpose, with awareness, and with full understanding of the trade-off involved. Rule number 4 is about the hidden cost of cheap things. One of the most expensive habits people have is constantly buying low-quality items that need to be replaced over and over again. You buy a cheap pair of shoes for $30 and they fall apart in 3 months. So you buy another pair, and another, and over 2 years you have spent $240 on shoes that never quite fit right and never lasted. Meanwhile, someone who bought a quality pair for $120 2 years ago is still wearing them, still happy, and has spent half as much. The financially minimalist approach means buying less but buying better. It means resisting the sale that makes you buy something you did not need just because it was marked down. A discount on something you are not going to buy is not a saving. It is a spending. Now here is a rule that cuts even deeper. Rule number 5. Get aggressively honest about your subscriptions, memberships, and recurring charges. We live in the subscription economy now, and companies have specifically designed their pricing to stay below the threshold of what feels worth canceling. $8 a month sounds like nothing. $12 a month sounds reasonable. $15 a month is barely a coffee. But stack up 8 of those and you are paying $80 to $100 every month for things you barely use. That is over $1,000 a year quietly disappearing from your account. Do an audit right now. Go through your bank statements and highlight every recurring charge. Then ask yourself honestly, if I had to decide today whether to sign up for this at full price, knowing everything I know about how much I actually use it, would I? If the answer is anything other than an enthusiastic yes, cancel it. Rule number 6 is where things start to get really powerful. Automate your savings before you can spend your money. The single biggest reason people fail to save consistently is that they rely on willpower. They plan to save whatever is left at the end of the month. But here's the brutal reality. There is never anything left at the end of the month if you wait that long. Lifestyle always expands to meet available income. So instead, the financially minimalist rule is to treat your savings like a non-negotiable bill that gets paid first. Set up an automatic transfer to a separate savings account on the same day your paycheck arrives. Even if it is just 5% to start. Even if it feels like nothing, the amount matters less in the beginning than the habit. You will adjust your spending to match what is available because humans always do. The only question is whether you are adjusting down towards savings or adjusting up towards stuff. Let us take a moment to connect some dots here because this is where the bigger picture becomes really clear. Every dollar you spend on something you did not genuinely need is not just money gone today. It is compound potential lost forever. If you take that $20 you were about to spend on something forgettable and instead invest it consistently over time, the mathematical reality of compound growth means that $20 becomes worth significantly more over a decade or two. Now, multiply that by every impulsive, emotional, or habitual purchase you make in a year, and you start to understand why so many people reach retirement age with almost nothing saved, despite earning millions of dollars over their lifetime. The wealth was always there, it just got consumed. Rule number 7. Learn to distinguish between assets and liabilities, and stop buying liabilities and calling them investments. A car is not an investment. A car is a depreciating liability that loses value from the moment you drive it off the lot and costs you money in insurance, maintenance, and fuel every single month. A designer handbag is not an investment. A new television is not an investment. Understanding this distinction is one of the most liberating mental shifts you can make because it changes how you evaluate almost every purchase. Real assets put money into your pocket over time. Most stuff does the exact opposite. Rule number 8 is about your relationship with social comparison, and it is one of the most important battles you will ever fight financially. Human beings are wired to compare themselves to others. It is an evolutionary tendency. But in a world where social media shows you a curated highlight reel of everyone else's most impressive purchases, vacations, and lifestyle upgrades, that ancient wiring becomes your worst financial enemy. People go into debt to fund appearances. They buy things not because those things bring them joy, but because they communicate a status they feel pressure to maintain. Financial minimalism requires you to be radically indifferent to what other people think about your financial choices. The people living the most financially secure lives are often the ones who look the least impressive on the outside. Drive the older car. Keep the functional phone. Wear the clothes that fit and work. Let your bank account be the thing that impresses you. The final rule, and possibly the most powerful one of all: define what financial stability actually looks like for you personally, and build toward that specific vision rather than chasing an abstract idea of wealth. For some people, stability means having 6 months of expenses in an emergency fund. For others, it means being completely debt-free. For others, it means having a specific number in an investment account. Whatever it is for you, write it down. Make it concrete. Make it real. Because when you have a clear and specific destination, every spending decision either moves you closer to it or further away. And that clarity changes everything about how you handle money. Financial minimalism is not a sacrifice. It is a reclamation. It is taking back control of your time, your energy, and your future from a consumer culture that profits from your confusion and your impulsiveness. The path to financial stability is not about earning more. It is about leaking less. It is about being intentional, disciplined, and honest with yourself about what your money is actually doing for your life. And when you start living by these rules, something extraordinary happens. The anxiety around money starts to fade. The stress of keeping up disappears. And in its place grows something rare and incredibly valuable: peace. If this video gave you something to think about, please subscribe because we have so much more to explore together on this journey toward genuine financial freedom. Hit the like button if any of this resonated with you because it helps more people find this content who need it. And leave a comment and tell me which of these rules hits closest to home for you right now. I want to know where you are in your financial journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.